Dear friends, this video is about the indigenous people throughout the globe. The United Nations is celebrating the rights of indigenous people from 19th of this month up to 30th so as to assert the rights of indigenous people in a most befitting manner, but the sessions are being held in virtual conferences except inaugural and concluding conference. The point herein is that there are more than 370 million people of indigenous nature is spreading over 80 countries. In India, there are about 104 million tribals spreading over 18 Indian states, and the point here is that the oldest these aboriginals is in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The name of that aboriginal is said to be Jarawa in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The fact of the matter is that because of the diversity of the cultures, socio-economic conditions, political characteristics of different ethnic and cultural groups of aboriginals, the United Nations General Assembly have not defined the very name these indigenous for a specific reason. Whatever may be the reason, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of the Indigenous People, which was adopted in the year 2007, has categorized nearly about 42 articles in this regard. The first and foremost of these United Nations General Assembly Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People is that accepting the diversities of indigenous people, their cultures, their ethnicity, and all the diversities should be accepted on par with other people. The second most important thing is that there is no superiority of race or ethnicity or racial or nationality or color. These things ought to be not considered to be equalized with any other race. All are equal in the eyes of international law, humanitarian law, and in the humankind. All the people, including these indigenous people, ought to be treated with all dignified respects, and all the rights that are available to other people ought to be extended to these indigenous people. The point herein is that the Supreme Court of India has very recently is issued an order, interim order, so as to evict those who have not been living in the forest dwelling areas for the past 75 years should be evicted from the forest lands due to certain vested interest applications in the Supreme Court of India, and now it is being stayed, that order is being stayed by the actions taken by the human rights activists and other persons, those who are interested in the tribal people. Though in the 5th schedule and 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, n number of provisions had been guaranteed to the rights of the tribal people in India. Despite these guarantees in the Indian Constitution, in the 5th and 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution and other constitutional provisions, the people who have been living in the forest areas have been forced to evict from the lands belonging to them, that is, forest belonging to them. This is causing a serious of concern in India. The fact of the matter is that in fact they are the aboriginals of the forest, and the United Nations Declaration on the Indigenous people is telling that the people of indigenous nature should not be evicted from their lands, forests, or territories by any other force, because the resources and the material forces that have been in the forest have been the creature of the nature, and the custodian of the nature and the resources are none other than the tribal population. This is the fact of the matter. This is the constitutional provision. This is the international law that has been enshrined in the United Nations Declaration on the Indigenous People. Hence, through this video, in order to save the life and livelihood of the forest dwellers, that is the tribal population, nearly about 104 million people in India have been duly affected by the orders of the Supreme Court. However, it is now stayed for one reason or the other reason. Those who are interested in protecting the rights of the indigenous people in India should protect the rights of the tribal people so as to live their life and livelihood in forest itself, not evict them from the lands, that is forest area. This is the message of this video. Thank you so much.